Source Nation, join us now for the Political Corner with your host, Destiny Hicks, as she brings you the latest highlights from the political arena. Source Nation, here is your host, Destiny Hicks.
Good evening, Source Nation, and welcome to the Political Corner with me, your host, Destiny Hicks. Tonight we have an awesome show planned for you all, but before I go any further, please let me thank our sponsors who have made this show possible, and they are Zelina Health, Wellness, and Fitness, Paper Tune Film Productions, Revolution Meals, Renovations, Meet My Tap Matchmaking, Blend to Blend Juice Bar Boutique, Urban Grandstand Digital, and New Covenant of Praise Worship Center. As I stated earlier, tonight we have an amazing show planned for you all, and I'll be talking about so many different things. I mean, what could we not talk about? I mean, we're going to talk about the things that's going on with our administration. We're going to talk about the situation with our president making that statement about NFL players that are kneeling at the national anthem, and so on and so forth. Last week, we talked about it was a meaty subject, but we're going to continue on with all the things that we have going on now. So, all right, Source Nation, we're going to take a quick break, and on the other side, we'll be back to discuss. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, Source Nation. You're listening live to the Political Corner with your host, Destiny Hicks.
Source Radio Network is just one of the many platforms that is used to fulfill dreams of our listeners and create a purpose that will impact the lives of our communities, cities, and the world. It is often said that great things will happen when a group of driven people work together to accomplish one goal. We're giving people the opportunity to have a voice, translate words that haven't been heard, and paint pictures that no one has seen. Source Radio Network is fueling your life's purpose. How can you listen? www.blogtalkradio.com/Source Radio.
Welcome back, Source Nation. You're listening live to the Political Corner with your host, Destiny Hicks.
Welcome back, Source Nation. You're listening live to the Political Corner with me, your host, Destiny Hicks. Like I stated earlier, I'm going to talk about so much. I'm just appalled at all the things that's been going on. But for one very positive announcement I have tonight, as you know, what they were trying to do with the health care bill failed, so it's still up and running. And you know, with the things that were going on with the health care, like I told y'all from the beginning when I first started with this particular show, health care, to me, that focal point they had towards it and why they were trying to abolish it and why they were trying to stop it and repeal it and all these other things, because I feel like they were trying to seem like this particular health care was just affecting those that couldn't afford health care. But that's for a lot of people that have health care they can't afford. So this was something in place so that you could still be able to live and have health care. But they didn't want that. Like I was telling y'all last week, there's a difference from an idea and a vision. The idea was for us to be able to, save and cut back so that we can provide jobs and let people stop mooching off the government and so on and so forth. But the vision was to hurt people, if you ask me. It wasn't to better our communities. It wasn't to better our country. It wasn't to better our administration. It wasn't to do any of those things. It seems like it was just to hurt and harm those, and not in a physical way, but in a health care way, because you don't know how many people that are on government assistance and health care and so on and so forth with the Obamacare particular health care. And I feel like those people have been going through different things, and some of them may be cancer patients, some of them may be diabetic, some of them may suffer from Alzheimer's, some of them may suffer from high blood pressure, cholesterol problems, all those things. And if you can't afford your medication, then what can you do? When you need your medication and you can't afford it, what do you do? And so that is why I want to let you all know that I am so excited. Guys, 33 million people are going to lose health care. Like, seriously? But, like I told y'all, everybody's opinion is everybody's opinion. Mine personally is that we see what's going on now. So when it comes time for a re-election period, time to vote, y'all better get out to the polls. Y'all better start going out now. If you got to take your family that don't have cars, go pick them up early so y'all can get down there and vote, because we can't allow something like this to happen again, to just a mishap of voting and so on and so forth. Because, I know like people said that, the voting polls were hacked and so on and so forth, but I don't care. Y'all get out there and vote, because we need to do something better this next time. 2020, we need to do something different. We need to do something different. And so that's the high end of the show tonight. But I want to talk about political etiquette and political platforms. How are we using our platforms and our etiquette in our decision-making processes? How are we using etiquette and our platforms for the good? How are we using our platforms, our titles, our etiquette, our caring hearts, our loving hands for the good of all people? Y'all know I emphasized last week an idea versus a vision, how an idea is a thought, but a vision is a plan. That's what I'm talking about. When our president made that statement and called the NFL players son of what? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't understand how somebody that holds such a position, you have a standard, and you get up there and call these people sons of you know what. Y'all know the word. I don't even have to say it. It's so disgusting to me that he would say that I don't even want to use what he said. Because I wonder if he had those NFL players right before his face, would he say those things to them? That's not political correctness. That's not using your political platform for the good. Because people taking a knee is not a problem. If they were doing something disrespectful, then that would be a problem. But let's be clear. Taking a knee was never a decision to hurt the people that's in the Army and not understand they went over there to fight for our country. That was not the case. It's not an attack towards any people that's doing service right now, have done service. It's not an attack. We all know why Kaepernick took that knee on that first game. It was protesting against police violence against African Americans, and that's the problem. We want to take everything and turn it around as if we're trying to attack people, but no, we're making a stand for something. Taking the knee during the national anthem is a gesture of humility. It's not saying I don't respect the people that fought for us. It's not saying I don't respect our flag, but it's I don't respect what we're standing on as a country right now. And so therefore it raised a little bit of anger within NFL players, and so they start taking knees. Y'all don't hear me. That's the problem now. We use our power to say any and everything that it causes all this strife and misconfusion. As the President of the United States of America, you should be the first person to make sure you have your facts straight. Being in a political, guys, let me break down a political platform for you. What is a political platform? Something that you're supposed to use to politic, but not politic in means of one particular set group. Politic within all areas, all ethnic groups, all feelings, all emotions. Don't you speak from your own thoughts. You're not only up there for yourself, you're up there for the people. When you're in a political platform, you have a standard that you have set. When you are in a political platform, not a party platform, it's like, I know if you look it up, political platform is something that's a series of positions on political particular party or candidate. Yeah, that's good. But it's also to carry a platform, a metaphor, to its logical conclusions on issues like education, environment, nationalism, terrorism, et cetera, et cetera. So what are you using your platform towards? Party affiliated, candidate affiliated, but what about the citizens? Now, we know how that goes. We know how the ball game goes. We know how things happen. We know how situations happen. But I'm not here to talk about that tonight. I'm here to talk about how we get in positions and we forget the people. We forget how we got there. If it wasn't because of the votes of the people, then we wouldn't have the administration we have. But yet it seems like our administration only focuses on who they want to focus on, and they don't bring light to situations that need light. We don't bring light to situations that need our voice. You tell the people to fire them if they don't want to stand up and put their hand over their heart during their national anthem. How do you sound? That's absurd. It doesn't make any sense to me how we can think that this is politically correct, because it's not politically correct. Because political correctness means that we are inclusive. Let me one day say I'm going to run for office. Let me one day say I'm going to run for a position of higher power, higher standard. That means now from that point on, I have to be not only a voice, but I got to have a vision. A vision not to just protect my people, not a vision to just focus on my people, but a vision for all the people. Those that are suffering right now in Puerto Rico. As the President of the United States, we should not be focusing on economic development down there. We need to focus on the fact that people are without water and without power. That's what it means to be in a political position of standard. That's the problem now. People only focus on things that have no meaning. I'm not saying that economic development is not something that we should focus on, but that's the last thing you should be focusing on when a hurricane as such has hit a place that already has trouble. And then they're hit by such a catastrophe, a disaster. And we're focusing on economic development? No, sir. You need to get down there and see what can we do as a country to help the people that's going to be affected by the fact that they don't even have clean water to wash in, clean water to drink, food to eat, electricity to see, and you want to focus on economic development? Did you guys see the tweet that he had? This man, this is not a show to bash our presidency, but this is a show to try to understand and get into the mind of the political people, and all political people are not like this. That's why I tell people sometimes, if you're not ready for the title, don't get into it, because sometimes we get the title and we forget how we got the title, and that's when we forget the people that really matter. We forget the voices that really matter. We forget the needs that need to be met. We forget the things that's going on in the world, and we just focus on what we want to focus on at that very moment, enough to keep us going, enough so that people won't complain too much. But even now, in the position that our president has, he doesn't care. He doesn't care that we have needs to be met. He doesn't care about all people, and you can't tell me that he cares about all people. He's doing just enough so that y'all won't do anything about it. But even then, he doesn't even know how to speak politically correct. A lot of people were mad when President Obama made that decision for homosexuals to be able to get married and all those different things. But this man was not just thinking about his own personal beliefs. This man was not just thinking about his own personal preference, but he was thinking about the fact that he's the chief of staff. He's the executive order. He is the president of the United States of America. So therefore, he's not just focused on the Christians. He's not just focused on the Muslims. He's not just focused on the Jews. He's not just focused on the Buddhists. And he's not just focused on Jehovah's Witness. He's not just focused on a religion, but he's focused on the fact that all people have to be served under my legislation, regardless of my views. You have to put self beside you when it comes to being and holding such great power. You have a standard to uphold. And guys, I'm not fussing on this show, but I want you all to take the time and look back and see how president after president, see the ones that were more selfless than the others. And I'm not saying selfish, selfless. Because when you're selfless, you know how to hold a position. Because then you know it's not about me, it's about the people. It's not about me, it's about the need. It's not about me, it's about what can I do. It's not about what can I get, it's about what can I serve. It's not about us when we get in these positions. If you are not ready to serve, you don't need to be in a servant position. Oh, yeah, you thought because you had the title that you don't have to be a servant, but that's not the case. And that's the thing about being in politics. I have my own personal beliefs, what I stand on, what I believe, and what I want to do. But, hey, when you get in a position where you're over a bunch of people, that means you have to make sure your mind is inclusive. You can't have a set mindset as to what you believe needs to happen and what you believe needs to take place, but it has to be, okay, when you make that decision, your first thing needs to be, is this going to help all people? How are the people in poverty going to benefit from this? How are the people in the middle class going to benefit from this? How are payers going to benefit from this? How are the people that have unemployment rates out of the woodworks in their community going to be affected by this? How are they going to benefit by this? Is this going to help the children in school? What is this going to do for the kids that's suffering after they graduate from school trying to get a good job and they already have the student loan people calling their phone? How are they going to benefit from me making selfish decisions? Not selfless, guys, selfish. How can we move forward as a country? Is this going to be beneficial to those of different ethnic groups? Is this going to be beneficial to those blue-collar workers? Is this going to be beneficial to the white-collar workers? Oh, inner city, outer city. People that are suffering with kids with mental illnesses. People that are suffering from mental illnesses. People that have family members in nursing homes. How are they going to benefit from this? Or how are they going to be affected by this? I'm not just blabbering tonight, guys, but that's the thought that you need to have as a political person. See, we've gotten political people confused with liars. We've gotten them so confused with people that are just good at talking that we've gotten away with what they really should mean. So, if you're just tuning in, you're listening live to the Political Corner with me, your host, Destiny Hicks. And tonight I'm discussing many different topics, but my main focus tonight has been decision-making, political platform areas, and political etiquette. I think that's why I just decided to make sure that I covered a lot of stuff, and I know y'all like every week you have a lot of meat, but I want you guys to really look at this stuff because I've been looking at this stuff for years and been trying to figure out why it's like this. But the phone lines are open. If you have any questions, want to make a comment, if you feel like I've been feeling, if you feel like it's something that we can do to make sure things like this doesn't happen further along in our next presidency, y'all call the number. It's 619-924-0933. And make sure you press that option 1. Let me know that you're here. I know that I'm just kind of like, every week, I'm not just like spilling out news to you all. I know most of you guys watch the news, and I know most of you all, if you listen to the political show, that means that you're in the fields of how politics have been going for a while now and how things have shifted since we had our current president come in and the administration and how they're handling things. And I know that if you're like me, then you're probably agitated and you just don't know which way to really turn and how to. You don't even want to turn on the news at this point, because every time you turn on the news, it seems like our president has done something idiotic or said something idiotic. And so you just kind of like, I'm going to do away with it. But I'm not here to be a news station. I'm not here to be a news reporter. But I do want to bring questions about in you, so that you can kind of look at things in a way of, what can I do to help this problem? What can I do to help fix this issue? What can I do to better my community? Because I told y'all in the previous show, not the last one, but before that we have to be a voice in our own communities. And then once we start being a voice in our own communities, our vision will make sense to our people if it's inclusive. And then once it's inclusive to our communities, then we can go out from city to city and state to state. And then people will then understand what we mean when we said it's not just an idea, but it's a vision. So that's why I took those steps to come on into when I got to this particular point of political etiquette. You know, I've been talking about so much over these past couple of weeks, but that's only because I know somebody that's listening to this show has this fire to run for something, or you have this fire to at least be of change, and you have this fire that you want to see better in your communities, and you have this fire that you want to keep something going. But it seems like everything that's coming towards your city, or everything that's coming towards your town, everything that's coming towards your state is trying to stop the businesses. They're trying to stop the entrepreneurs from really trying to be not even locally but globally. And so I want you all to look at this stuff. And when you're making your decisions, when you want to run for office, or when you want to start your own business, or when you want to become a political title holder, or if you want to have a political platform one day, if you want to be a decision maker one day on a political level, then this is where you need to be when it comes to it. This is your thought process. Your thought process. If your mindset is off track, then your vision is off track. Because our vision has to be focused on the people. Like I said, that's our first vision. And we need to make sure that when we're down here making these platform ideas, and we need these, what we're standing on principles, and we need to make sure they're direct and on target, make sure you're doing it for the people and that you can really get it done, and you're not just doing it for the vote. So that brings me to my next particular bone I have to pick. Oftentimes, when I talk about decision-making and platforms and etiquette, we get so lost. We get so lost. We forget the vision when we get the title. I'm going to say that again. We get the vision, but when we get the title, we forget the vision. And see, we can't be like that. When you want to be about change, you have to stand on change even when it's not popular. Stand on change. I'm not talking about, if you know you're doing something that's going to be beneficial to the people, then you stand on that. Make the vision make sense to them. And even if the vision doesn't make sense to them, when it's all said and done, they're going to be like, man, girl, I appreciate you. Because you did what other people couldn't do. You did what other people wouldn't do. You did what other people may have thought, but they were too fearful to do. That's what it means to have that drive, guys. Political etiquette, political change, political standards, political platforms, political decision-making. All that stuff lines up with each other. Y'all know how it goes. You know, as a president, you should not say that these are son of a, and we should not be out here acting as if what he said was okay, that if these players if they don't stand up the next time, they kneel again, you have my backing for you to fire them. Fire who? Who are you going to? And then he came back and said that Steph Curry wasn't even invited back to the White House because he didn't want to take the invitation and he didn't want to come. Steph Curry he pretty much was like, I don't even want to be there, bro. I don't even want to be around any of that, whatever you got going on, because I don't want it to brush off on me. Because what you got going on, bro, is crazy. Y'all know how that go. It's absurd for him to think that when players take a knee, it's against America. They're disrespecting America. No, they're taking a knee because they're fed up. Martin Luther King didn't start a walk, didn't have the I Have a Dream speech because he hated America. He didn't like what you stood for. Let's be clear. Malcolm X didn't create the Black Panthers because he was in a place of hating America. He created the Black Panthers because he was fed up with what America was standing on, because he knew that America wasn't built on this. America was not built for black and white kids to go to separate schools. America wasn't built for black and white people to have to use different bathroom stalls. Did y'all see the movie Hidden Figures? America was not built for a woman to have to go African-American woman to have to go all the way across where she was working from to use the bathroom and come back because she could not use the same bathroom as the Caucasian people. Come on, guys, we have to stop being so idiotic in our arguments. Let's make sure we're factual. This taking a knee during the NFL single banner was never to disagree with America. It's the fact that they're fed up with how America's being ran because they know this is not what our country should be doing. Come on, like, this is the quality of what y'all are saying is absurd. It's aggravating because I don't understand how you could try to make this sound correct because it's not. You really think that people would take a knee because they hate the fact that people are fighting over there for our country? No, they hate the fact that people are getting shot daily by police officers. And then the police officers are not even getting convicted. Now, see, that's another ball game. So now we got a different type of anger. It's not the fact that we're getting killed by the police officers, but it's when they get killed and they don't even get convicted. So therefore, it's going to continue because nobody is serving the time for the crime they committed. If somebody goes out there today and shoots somebody, what are they going to do? You shot him, you gone. You dead. We got to go ahead and, you going back, you going to jail, and you're going to do life. Or if you're not going to do life, we're going to give you the chair. That's how it's going to go. And y'all can't tell me that it's not going to be like that. And that's the problem why people have anger in them. I'm not saying that their anger should be fueled in protest and destroying buildings and flipping cars and set stuff on fire. But people are coming from a place of being fed up. So that's why Kaepernick decided, I'm not going to burn down no buildings. I'm not going to go around here screaming Black Power. I'm not going to go around here kicking down doors and showing this side of me that y'all think I already got. I'm going to take a knee and show y'all that I can do this in the most respectable way. But I want you to know that I'm going to stand for something and not fall for just anything. I'm fed up with the way things are going in America and how African Americans are being treated. And so, therefore, I'm not going to just show you my frustration by yelling and screaming and acting outrageously, but I'm going to take this knee so y'all can see that I have a standard that I'm about to set. Silent protesting. What did the Freedom Riders do when they went into bars and restaurants and places where they knew that the colored folk wasn't allowed? They sat there. They took them spitting on them. They took them throwing eggs on them. They took them doing God knows what to them in silence. They didn't fight back. They were actually taught not to fight back because that's what they wanted from people. People want a reaction. And so you know why I feel like our president and our administration and the many other people that are raising anger because of this knee-taking? It's because they want a reaction out of you, not the fact that you're taking that knee, but they want to see how mad they can make you for you to act like they want you to act, outrageously. And you know what? I'm not even upset, but I am disturbed that we want to make this thing and take it out of context and we want to act like. We want to act like this is something that is about something that would. Did our president even take the time to go have a talk with Kaepernick? And I'm not saying Kaepernick, I mean Kaepernick. Don't you think that if we took the time to have a conversation, to agree to disagree, that would be the political thing to do? Not even the political thing to do, but the humankind thing to do? It's people crazy to really sit here and think that this is how it's supposed to go. It's no way in the world that you can think that this is okay for them to be putting a target on this man's back as if he's just out here hating, people hating America. No, that was never the point of the knee. That's never going to be the point of the knee, and y'all can get off of that. It's a new story. This man took this knee a while ago because he was tired of police violence against African Americans and nothing being done about it. That's why he was fed up. Come on. Obviously. That's what I'm talking about, guys. That's what I'm talking about. The same thing with health care. It ain't the fact that people want free health care and the fact that it's the Obamacare they want it. No, it's the fact that people need health care in general, and this is affordable. People having premiums out of the woodworks, deductibles is out of the woodworks. It's not about the fact that it's Obamacare. It's the fact that this is something that was all inclusive. And so if you needed help, you can get it with Obamacare. Come on, that's the problem. We got all these issues, and you want to focus on not solving them, but being idiotic and making statements that's trying to hurt people and create this hate. That's why we had the Charlottesville incident, because we have people on political platforms, people not using political etiquette, and then we have people that's going out there saying absurd things, and then we want to act like, oh, it's okay. He called the people in Charlottesville, what, good citizens? Fine people? And they were around there neo-Nazis with their flags and burning down stuff, breaking people's arms, fighting them, beating them with poles. Fine people? Those are not fine people. But you want to call NFL players that's taking a stand for something, taking a knee during a game, during the national anthem, and you want to use that and call them part of the group? No. That's not what we're going to do. On the news, I heard the B word so many times because people were so fed up. They were like, this man said son of a blah, 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 blah. I can't believe he said son of a blah, 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 blah. That's what it is. Yeah, he said it. You think he's going to take it back? No. The same way he's focused on economic development and infrastructure down there in Puerto Rico and not the fact that people don't have water. You should be taking water down there, sir. You should be taking surges, generators, something, and you talking about, man, that's the type of administration we hold. And so, like I stated before I even got to all these different points that I'm raising tonight, people, let's be real with ourselves. We can't get change until we want change. When we want change, even then we have to work for change. Though it should be a given, we have to work for it. Though it should be something that we should have because we are the land of the free, home of the brave. We have to work for it. Don't let anybody dim your light when you're trying to make change in an area you know needs it. And make sure, if you are this one tonight that's wanting to see change, make sure that you are a person that stands for change, whether it's popular by another party or whether it is popular by another party. You got to make sure that you stand on what you got to stand on until you see the change. We can't keep going with political people like this in office. So all we can do at this point is to make sure that we use our voice. Not to hate this man, not to fight this man, not to do anything harmful, but you can do something silently and it still echoes in the years to come. Look at Martin Luther King, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. He did it silently, not so silently that his voice wasn't heard, but he did it in a way of an act of, I just want change. I don't want to hate y'all people. I don't want to fight y'all people. I just want change. If I can fight until my children can go to school with kids not the same color as them, I'm going to continue to fight. If I got to lock arms with my counterparts, my colleagues, for my children to not have to grow up in the world that I grew up in, I'm going to do it. That's what Martin Luther King stood on. And it's echoing in the generations of now and even later. Be that type of person. Kaepernick, he may not feel like he's doing something good right now because he has all this hate coming after him. He has even the President of the United States of America coming after him. But what he did is going to echo in the generations to come. When people read about this, they're going to be like, remember that man? People stopped wanting to even have him on his team because he stood for something. The president even called him another word. But you know what? That man didn't give up on his fight. He stood for something. And it's echoing even down to now. 20 years from now, they're going to look back on this. Just like they did with Malcolm X, just like they did with Martin Luther King, just like they did with Rosa Parks. Come on, guys. Rosa Parks did not give up her seat because of the bus company. She didn't give up her seat because she hated what they stood for, not them personally. And so if that's what you're going to call this taking a knee, if that's what you're going to call this health care, if that's what you're going to call immigration, that people just doing it because they just want to be rebels and they want to disagree with America, then you have it all wrong. You already need to go reevaluate the facts. And not just how you're coming from emotion, but you have to reevaluate the facts. Oh, no, Rosa didn't say no because she didn't like the people on the bus. Rosa said no because she said, I'm going to stand for something and I will not fall for anything other than change. People laid down their lives for change. People didn't give up seats for change. We had ancestors that walked to work just to prove something to the bus company. We had ancestors that lived all in the same house, sneaking to read, sneaking to teach our kids how to write, not because they hated America, but because they wanted a better lives for the people that came after them. That's what change is. So when you use your platform, when you use your etiquette, when you use your decision-making, when you think about the things that's happening in today and you want to be a change, it's not because you hate people and you want to burn down stuff and you want to do it in an absurd way, but it's because you want to see change in your atmosphere. You want to see change in your environment. And you want your voice to echo in the generations of now and later. So I'm not trying to keep y'all on here all night tonight, and I know we're running out of time. But before I leave, you know I got to thank my sponsors, Zulina Health, Wellness, and Fitness, Paper Tune Field Productions, Revolution Meals, Renovations, Meet My Type Matchmaking, Blend to Blend Juice Bar Boutique, Urban Grandstand Digital, and New Covenant of Praise Worship Center. Source Nation, y'all join me next week for another amazing show. I know it's like I gave y'all a lot of stuff, and I know it's like y'all like, oh, my gosh, she is like always digging and digging and digging. But I just want you guys to take a look at this stuff. This man didn't take a knee because of hate of America or hate of military groups or hate of our administration, but because he was fed up. Just like Rosa Parks, just like Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, just like Malcolm X, just like the many other people that names I didn't list did. If you do it now in silence and you stand on it, and it's going to echo. You're not going to leave it as an idea, but it's going to be a vision. And even if you feel like you didn't fulfill the vision, your work is not going unnoticed. Kaepernick, if you're hearing this somewhere, I stand with you, my brother. To all the NFL players that's taking a knee, I stand with you, my brothers. To all the people that want to see change, I stand with you, my brothers and sisters. Because we got to be of change. We can't sit here. And we can't act like how they want us to act. We can't act outraged. We can't act angry. We can't come off aggressive. But we got to come off in a way of intellect, knowing what we stand on, knowing on what we believe. And when we do go for change, we're going to not just pull our brothers and sisters out of the whole of our ethnic group and do it for just our culture. But we're going to do it to make sure all the people are included. No person left behind isn't just for schoolhouses. No person left behind is for all citizens. So don't you leave anybody behind. If you can do anything to help somebody, if you can be beneficial to anybody, and if you can stand on something and stand on it even when nobody's standing with you, watch and see how it's going to work out. We got to do something, guys. We can't let this stuff go on and 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 just let it pass us by. That's not what we're here for. You're here to be of change. You're here to show people that you can do it. So, guys, that's what I meant to talk about tonight. All of this stuff. And I know it's a lot of meat that I give y'all every Wednesday. I know it's a lot of substance that I give you all every Wednesday. But I want you all to know that I love you. And like I said before, don't chase the title. Keep the vision. I love y'all. God bless. Stand on something or fall for anything. Love you guys. Love you guys. Love you guys. Stay up and see you next week on Source Nation with the Political Corner. Y'all know that. Stay up.